into Nord. And I guess, you know, as much as I was saying I wanted Delight off Enchanters, I did specifically say I wanted a more engaged playmakers, with Tahm Kench isn't, so maybe they're okay with him being on that. But I think that might end up being the pickup for Life Esports here for Gen G. They can just take, they can take jungle or top in this situation. Kind of depends what they want to give more space to. They could just take, like, the Xin Zhao's available at this point.
Rumble.
Yeah, the Rumble
has been highly prioritized by a number of our teams here in the playoffs. Certainly does do some nice damage, but you're essentially blind picking that for top unless you want to flex a jungle, which
well, it'll be into the
you
record,
could.
so I think not the best match.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
The Tahm Kench, I think, to me, stands out as a picky pair here. Against a Nautilus, very effective. The fact there's like an equalizer as well, you really want to limit the ability just to burn the Jinx. And it's crazy that we saw no mid lane bans come out, so Zeka just gets Ahri Vi. That's just gonna happen, okay?
Yeah, the combo that defeated Gen G a number of times when DK were playing it.
Why not?
Interesting.
I mean, I think Life Esports are very happy with how the draft has panned out. I'm not sure what Gen G can do here to kind of save it to Jax. Look, a lot of people are anti-Jax in the jungle. I think Jax, in very specific circumstances, is good. I think it's good in his Xin Zhao. Like, you can bully out Xin Zhao early. The counter-strike is very effective against him because his CC is his auto-attacks, right? His knock-up. I don't see what Jax is doing here for your team. I don't see the value it adds. I really favor Life Esports drafting this composition. They got the best top player on the patch. They have a fantastic mid-jungle combo. They have Viper on Jinx, which I think is super powerful after changes, and Tahm Kench for safety. On the side of Gen G, you know, I think their bot side picks, I think Azir, Zeri, Nord is fine, but I think the Rumble, I'm not sure it's going to be a good match into the Rex side, and the Jax I just think doesn't fit. So I think Life Esports come out with an edge in the draft, but we've seen time and time again that draft isn't everything.
Yeah. That is very true, but sometimes draft can lean the game in a certain direction, and especially if the gap is wide enough, it can have a big impact. I would say that I do agree with you. I think that Life Esports are in a really good spot with this one, and especially like the light on Tahm Kench as well. I think he's a fantastic Tahm Kench, and his Devours have been game-changing, and it's not engage all the time, but I think he's going to do a great job on that pick.
I think especially we saw game one, the dive buddies of Zeka and Doran both coming in together on the flanks. They have the potential to do that again with this composition.
Could happen, but let's see. Let's hop into the Rift for game number 3.
Genji fighting.
Off we go. Game number 3 of this best of 5. And the way it's looked, the games have been so close, I would not be surprised if we go all the way to game 5. But
especially as, I mean, we've kind of stabilized now, but if Life Esports, you know, we're favoring the draft on blue side, they end up winning this, then Gen G's on blue side, you know, so
yeah.
It could, if we end up just seeing the advantage.
Kiss me. Staging and gonna easy. They might really make it look easy.
They're just trying to get as much value as possible. I think the thing is, you know, this was obviously much more common in the past, the cold start. Since they buffed Doran's Blade, it feels like in so many situations, 80 carries will go on it, so you really know they're out to farm. They're out just to scale up when they're both going cull in the situation.
Yeah, we got Grasp once again here, by the way, for Chovy. Did play this in game number 1 into the Asali. This time it's into a high range camp, obviously the Ahri. Not super high range or anything. But
yeah, I think we saw the full Bruiser build from him in game 1. I don't think we'll see that again here. Simply because it's a very different dynamic. You know, that game 1 was into 4 melee champions and Zeri. You were kind of just stuck in the mixer against them. This is a very different game here. And Tahm Kench to me looking very good, with a caveat. A lot of the time it's been paired with Senna.
Yeah.
But still, I think paired with Jinx is one of his strongest pairings. And she was the champion who, you know, she didn't actually receive any changes, but on this patch, after the crit changes, her like solo queue win rate flew up like over 2%. Like, it really made a massive difference to her. I think she's the AD carry who probably benefited the most from them. So
yeah,
kind of been a bit of a sleepy pick. We've seen it banned occasionally. We have seen it pop up here and there, but not too common so far in the playoffs.
It's definitely a very strong pick. I think that Jinx is, you know, we have seen the Aphelios here and there, but certainly the Jinx feels even better with some of the changes that we have seen to the itemization. And as the players have expected, this bottom lane has been mostly just a farm lane for now, although FaZe has fallen a little bit behind on the CS.
Yeah, Viper and Delight got the level 2 first, which is kind of expected. The amount of presence Tom has level 1 and Jinx just have range in Zeri, so they're able to put FaZe a little bit behind. Top lane, Keen actually kind of toasting Doran so far. You know, the early damage of Rumble not to be disrespected, but levels 3 is hit. Kind of seen this, you know, where sometimes Rek'Sai can get bullied out early, but it's really like that level set like 8, 9. The passive scales up quite quickly.
Yeah.
And also, once you get some defensive itemization, that's when you really become immortal. But for now, Keen has pressure, does have that ignite in pocket. As I say he has pressure, Doran is just doing Rek'Sai things.
Wait, no, he's full health.
He's just full health. Oh, he must have popped his health potion in his inventory. That's
yeah. It fills your whole health bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zeka, pretty cute play there. Peanut's just going for double scuttle. He's not actually trying to do anything to Chovy here.
Just giving him a grasp attack, you know, a little slide by.
Feels good for Chovy, I guess. And yeah, that's the question. I mean, like the Rumble, it is pretty high value. It does have a decent lane into the right side. He's going to build Leandri's, I hope. If he goes,
oh my god, if we see Rocket Belt,
if he goes Rocket Belt into this, Huni's going to give him negative stars for the first time.
Yeah, I actually think he'll get like a -3.
I trust Keen. I think he's going to go. I think this one is kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, you really need that bin.
You need it. And even early on, I think even when you do get the Leandries, it's not really going to matter because
I think
the sustain is too high.
I think you kind of need like Leandri's Oblivion Orb.
He's going for the kill. Flash on in, and Keen is in a lot of trouble. He is going to flash away, and now it's Doran in a lot of trouble as the knockup does not come in, and Keen picks up first blood. Peanut is here.
Should have this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no flash, so just flash on in, and there it is. 3 hits.
Yeah.
And down he does go.
Total gold ends up going in favor of Honlife Esports.
Ini saya menarik skinnya itu, Cok.
Big boost to Keen's power.
Skin apa itu, Jay?
Misread from Doran. You know, the whole point of the Rek'Sai is attrition, attrition, attrition. You win the trade by out-healing. You into a Rumble with Ignite. I was just talking about how the Andrew's Oblivion Orb would be really strong. The constant burn applying the Grievous Wounds. Well, in that situation, he had the Grievous Wounds available, and you kind of fed it to him.
Yeah. It was an overreach, you could say, from the side of Doran, and Keen immediately does turn that one around. This one smited, and he's going to pick up just the one bub. Bot lane, funnily enough, you know, sometimes we highlight this. There's generally a decent amount of action, a lot of fighting down the bottom lane. The case for Zeri versus Jinx.
Yeah.
Menos
That's not contest now. Keen has and this is the thing, you know, we have Keen's both are Rek'Sai just kind of neutralizes everything. But if you fall far enough behind, you can't even reach the minions, then you're not going to be able to heal. And Keen is just kind of trying to zone Doran out here as much as possible.
Level 6 available. I mean, Zeka with this triple tonic that's given them the extra adaptive power. Maybe looking for something. Jonas Strong certainly expected it, but not going to pull the trigger on that one. Meanwhile, very nice hook does come in onto Viper. Decent
I feel like both the hook and the W from FaZe seem to just ignore minions a little bit there. Yeah, a lot of people probably be questioning the hitboxes there, but just some good eyes from Genji's bot lane looking for a punish, and now Keen is really looking to capitalize on the advantage. And I feel like this is the kind of the thing that you need to be doing, need to see if you're playing this Rumble top with Ignite. That's why I was kind of concerned about it into the Rek'Sai, because you need to be really pushing the advantage to get value from it. And here, it's just like, you know, he goes for the trade. Again, Keen trades a lot back because he's overheated. Doran heals up. He could just hit the minions and heal up again. But he decides to opt into it. Disrespects the scrap shield and the flash from Keen. And it's Nimbus cloak as well, so Keen when he flashes, there's no catching him. And then Peanut's there for the cleanup. The thing is, this is going to be crazy for me to say. You could have just waited for Peanut to get there. You know, like...
Imagine that!
Imagine!
Imagine!
My jungler is coming. Should I wait? No. I will all in before he reaches.
Yeah. Doran and Peanut have played many years together, and for some reason, sometimes Doran just doesn't get the memo. It's okay. I mean, it's
he's
just
still
a
learning.
little bit of a Doran moment, and he's still Rek'Sai. So I think that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. He has an All Magic Mantle, whatever. He's going to fall a bit behind. It's going to be great for Keen, though, as now we have a knock-up here on the cannon. We'll just flash away respectfully. Not looking to stick around too long on that.
Yeah, right, cool. If the follow-up came in between the Viol and the Chompers, you were just dead. Once the cannon strikes down, they were just going to kill you. And yeah, I mean, this top lane matchup's been going really good. Mid, we've seen Zeka constantly threatening and looking for charms on a Chovy. The problem is, every time you walk in and up and threaten a charm, you eat a lot of damage in return.
This is on Vision from Live Esports. Knock up here onto Light, essentially just zoning them away, but he is going to get the lick down onto Lehans. Just threatening it.
The Light wanted to get the last passive proc, go for the gobble, throw him back in, but Lehans is able to disengage.
Going in again is Doran. This is fine if you just back up and then rejuvenate and, you know, regenerate some health. Because at the end of the day, like, Keen can't do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, even, like, I was like, is that the timing you want to trade? Like, he was overheated. He had, like, the full blast flame spitter, and he was whacking him with empowered autos. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter at all.
It's still... Rek'Sai can heal through anything.
You see, what we failed to realize is Doran is actually full build. He has Doran Shield, Ruby Crystal, Null Magic. And that is the only items he needs to become immortal. Speaking of immortal, oh yeah, you can just tunnel away.
Yeah.
This champion's a little bit ridiculous.
He does get nerfed on 14-7. Some of that Fury generation on minions and stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure Keen is thinking about that right now. He's like, oh god.
I wish it were 14-7.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Valdez, it is 14-6 for the entirety of the playoffs. Unlucky.
Unlucky for them. And yeah, I think this pick is going to continue to be relevant throughout. Oh, they are got very dead.
Everybody is here, and Keen's just going to equalize on the wave. He knows he's dead. Kill will go over to Peanut, and he doesn't even really kill all the minions.
I hate this
Not
Sirens.
that much. I think part of it is because he went the early Sorks. So Sorks obviously the magic pen, great against champions, but didn't have the AP ready to finish off the wave. And yeah, kind of surprised that Peanut ended up being the one to take the kill, but I guess it is a tank Rek'Sai top who just doesn't really care, so they give over to him.
Give it to the Tom.
Void Grubs. True, actually. We've always talked about Senna giving these supports gold.
Yeah.
You know.
What if they just farmed instead? Who needs 80 carries?
What if they just funnel kills on Delight? It'd be like having the powered Tom with Senna. It makes so much sense.
Very strong. But instead, I guess the Vi will just pick up kills, get an early Sundered Sky, and, well, let's see if he...
Sunder some skies.
Yeah, let's go for that. Viper is fine. Doran is taking everything, and this time with the Ignite is actually struggling and gets flashed on. Ults in, and now they turn it around! You gotta be kidding me! Peanut here again, top of the morning with this Pengu, and Doran gets away.
You know, I feel like we saw the upper limits of immortality. We came close to Rek'Sai dying, but he simply refused. You know, that was down to the wire, especially with a champion like Rumble, especially with Ignite being on him. You know, things that tick so frequently. It wouldn't have taken much more for Doran to die there. But Peanut, I feel like he just has a sixth sense for when Doran's doing something silly. He's like, you know, he's just clearing a jungle camp, but it dawns on him, I need to be top in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Something's
gonna happen. My top laner is in danger.
Telepathic message comes in, and he's like, oh crap, I gotta be top again.
Yeah, or it's like, Peanut, I am going to die in 30 seconds. You can either be there, or you cannot.
Yeah, I mean, he benefits, right? Peanut will be happy at least. 3 kills already, Sundered Sky finished.
Yeah. It's just such a funny passage of play. Keen having a rough time now as a result of this. Yeah, we can even see Peanut's pretty close by, so they wanted to set up for this. But but he's just kind of hanging around, waiting for the commit.
Yeah.
He really waits a long time. He's like, no, he needs to be right under the tower.
와 지렸다. 와.
Oh, man.
뭐야 이거?
That was sick, he says.
내가 못 잡네.
I couldn't get him.
He looks so
says-
upset. I would be in that
I mean, it looked like his flame spitter also was like hit to the side, right? Because he had to like spin around, but he got hit by the vine in the side, so he couldn't turn it around to hit the Rek'Sai. I mean, Doran probably had about 20, 50 health there. It would have been enough, but not quite.
Isn't a jungle
Yeah.
at Ryzen today? What do you do?
We also spent a lot of pre-show and early time. It was 8 HP, by the way, guys. Just got the confirmation from G-Sun and the team. Yeah, 8 HP, that's all you need.
It was a great scrying orb from Pays there. I feel like this brush is just so broken for like camping it, and then just when the AD carry comes walking by, they just die. And I feel like if that happens, the game is just over. You miss so much in terms of plates, in terms of CS. So a good read to prevent that. Pays obviously just level 9, just got the scrying orb.
Well, this is continuing to happen. I suppose if the Rek'Sai just stands in front of the Rumble,
Yeah, I feel
and
like
gives him
Doran's
the
like-
full combo.
Doran's like, I can totally out-heal your damage, and then like, the end of a flame spitter, he's like, I'm good. I'm fine.
It's like kind of okay. This Dragon looks to be going the way. Canyon gonna hop over the wall though, and it does go to Canyon. Just slaps that one down with this W, but now this fight going heavily the way of Humble Life Esports. Pace just barely gonna get away, but lands will go down first. The Light's still on the chase here. Gets the slow on a Canyon, but that's a Jax. As the flash on in with the charm is huge from the side of Zeka. That's his second kill as Doran.
Lo first nga to.
Toby away from the fight.
I love how this composition plays. It's so fun seeing the Viari. As soon as Zeka starts getting kills, the chase down potential is there. The setup was good. The Dragon's taken by Gen G, but the fight so heavily in favor of Honlife Esports. They get the top lane tower as a consolation prize, but I know for a fact that Honlife Esports still very happy with how that one played out.
Yeah. Also the fact that the plates were just not really there. I mean, he got 2 in total as, ooh, that's not enough information. And he knows it.
A good sixth sense on these things, honestly. It's so scary though in this situation, and now you've got this fed Jinx in a game that already feels rough. Like the Vi is fed, the Ahri's already get big value. I love this positioning from Zeka. You know, the vision setup's not really fantastic for Gen G. They kind of rush into this one to steal the Dragon. Then Zeka comes in, immediate charm on a Pays there, who doesn't have cleanse, remember, so it does end up sticking. You can see Zeka waiting for the reset onto the Nautilus to chase down here, and then so confident with the flash. He knows Canyon burn it to get into the pit to get the steal.
Yeah, pretty straightforward from there. The chase potential is huge, and if you ever get the Jinx excited, you get the Ahri with some resets on that Essence, it just gets very overwhelming if you're not able to fight it.
We've always talked about composition with an Ahri, and like, you get one kill, the reset potential is insane. But this is Ahri Jinx, you know, and you have Rek'Sai Vi, who are fantastic at killing single targets, and then you have Ahri Jinx getting resets.
And if anything goes wrong, Tom Kench.
Yeah.
Also great follow-up engage.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I said in the draft, but I feel like this composition on Live Esports works so well. And Gen G in a difficult spot now, you know, and also the fact that Paige doesn't have cleanse, and you're with a Nautilus who isn't gonna rush Mikhail's first item. If you get ulted by Vi, a charm is following, maybe even the chompers. Like, what is the counterplay?
Just ghost and avoid everything.
Yeah.
The Vi ults you and you ghost back to the fountain faster than she can close the distance.
There you go. There you go. I feel like games like this are ones where AD carries really miss stopwatch being a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was way too powerful for the gold that it was, that it cost. As the slow comes down with the zap, and Peanut, he's so tanky, he is gonna go down, but the Devourer comes through, and Delight is in a really rough spot himself. Peanut now trying to flash away. He is going to barely get away thanks to Delight as...
Well, the lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
They
a
went
little
pretty
bit
deep for that one.
A little bit over-aggressive there. They wanted the tower, maybe a bit more than they bargained for there, but they do manage to get out with it being a 1-for-1. Could have been a lot worse for Honlife Esports. And a pretty quick reminder why you can't disrespect the Zeri. We saw that in game 1, and we kind of saw it again here. A lot of focus there went on to the Nautilus, and it was clear Life Esports thought it'd just be a free kill.
Chovy does not have vision of this, and he's gonna get flashed on. No flash here for Chovy himself. Just waiting for that cooldown to see if he can get away, and just the edge of that one is gonna hit away to Zeka, but it's not going to be enough, as Doran will follow up with his own ult, and that will be Chovy going down.
Yeah, really well played there by Doran, interrupting the dash, stopping him from getting away easily. A little bit of a misplay from Zeka, getting caught by the Emperor's Divide. You saw him try to step away from it, but didn't catch it. But it didn't matter in the end. Rek'Sai just so good for chasing down targets with that ultimate. Tower picked up, is traded in the bot lane. But once again, Life Esports pushing the pace forward of this game. And it is a Mountain Soul, you know, super impactful one in this game. Life Esports will love to get. Here's a replay of that. I think they didn't have a read fully on Keen being here. Heavily overcommitted onto the Nautilus. And Peanut, I thought he was going to die inside the Tom Ken. He had Ignite burning on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice interrupt there.
Good dodges from Chovy. I mean, he has to go very far left in order to do that, which kind of extends the play. So.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where sometimes, like, you sidestep, try and dodge something, and sure, like, it can work, you can dodge it, but then you just end up being further and further away from where you're trying to get to. It was just a very rough situation to be without flash. And a good pickup from Life Esports, and now Zeka picking up a second item here. Has the Horizon focus. Also have 2 items for the Jinx as well. Dragon's up now. Whoa.
Chovy TP right in front of that one, but at least Cannon is there. The equalizer is huge value. Forces out the Devour already, and now Delight's in a little bit of a struggle, but Lahen's also getting super low, ticking away, and Doran follows over the top as Canyon trying to get away, and Chovy looking for the angle, but he gets ultimated immediately. They do take out the Jinx, though, as the Zhonya's comes out, and Chovy, he wants to carry this fight all by himself, and it looks like he might just be able to create the space for Pays on the chase, as the flash of the wall is not going to catch the Rek'Sai, but still a nice fight here for Genji.
I cannot imagine how much Life Esports would be stomping this series if not for Chovy. It feels like every game, every fight, he has to be the most impactful member to give Genji some hope. And here it's the exact same. In this TP being ignored, it was a little bit goofy to start off. It looked like a little bit of a dangerous one, but he managed to navigate it, and it feels like the fight should go in favor of Life, right? Equalizer down, the ult from Tom saves them, and they managed to get this reset thanks to Doran. So reset potential, you going in. And it looks like, you know, Jinx is free hitting. It should be fine with this great angle.
Oh.
Gets him in. Manages to the charm comes in from Zeka, and he actually manages to stay
Masih ada
there
Chovy
as
tuh ya,
well. Just
anjing.
really flawless play from Chovy there.
먹게 빠졌다.
Chovy nih bro. Trot. Anjing.
Is what he said. And let's see.
나궁 5초. 앞라인부터 봐봐.
Ult in 5 seconds.
Dapet tuh angle.
Hit the front line.
쟁글 노플, 쟁글 노플.
No flash, no flash.
나플 있어, 나플 있어.
I have flash.
Tuh.
저게 안 찔려?
Wait, that didn't land?
Jing. Chovy nih bro.
Talking about
Yeah, trying to get the last soldier on Zeka. Zeka flashed away at the last second. But I just find it crazy. The game felt so favored towards Life Esports. It felt like we were kind of looking at, from there, them just closing it out. But you can never underestimate this Genji roster. You can never underestimate Chovy, if we're being honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Managing to make the big plays there. And it's still a game in favor of Life, but that dragon being secured, definitely a bit of a lifeline for Genji. Pays as well now, 2-0-1 on the Zeri.
Oh, a play to be made here maybe as we're going deep into that backline. Once again, the 4-man into 4-man knockup. You've got to be kidding me. They're going to take out one of them, actually 2, as now the front line is being burned here. Keen picks up 2 kills by himself, but the backline was accessed the entire time by Doran and Delight. And Viper was untouched the entire fight.
Just such a beautiful engage. I feel like Life Esports playing as a unit, the engages they find, just a treat to watch, honestly. And once again, it looked like he was a little bit hesitant. It looked like Peanut was deciding whether or not he wanted to go in, but I feel like he was just looking for the right timing. He finds a beautiful angle. And this is kind of going back to the issue with playing Zeri into the buy Ahri. Ult comes in, Charm is there to follow. Doran gets this 4-man knock up the bounce house with the Tom Kenge. You could put that in a textbook, honestly. That is an engaging masterclass, and it gets a little bit messy afterwards. You know, Zeka tanks the Azir tower, that Viper clears up, but still a huge team fight win for Honor Life Esports.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, they ate a bunch of rumble damage, but that's because they were all in on the bouncy castle, which is what won them the fight. So Keen cleans up a little bit, but that's about it. On the side of Gen G.
Viper now has 5 kills on the back of that.
Yeah.
And an IE, so that's becoming
big
a problem.
spike.
That's becoming a big problem.
He is, you know, last fight around, he had to flash, didn't get over the Azir wall and kind of went down, but imagine now some of those excited shots going off first. Like, Toby might do that and his team might be dead because the Jinx killed everybody. It is quite strong.
Yeah, and I think
especially if you're this fed.
no one feels that tanky on the side of Gen G, right? Like, Doran obviously feels basically immortal, but
If they picked R5 Jack's jungle.
oh, yeah, if you hit like a charm on someone, if you hit some CC on a target, and Viper fires an ult, they are probably just dead if they're not flashing out. And then as soon as the reset starts, it's so hard to get away, so hard to evade the situation. Dragon is up in a minute 12. Baron is also up as well, so teams need to keep an eye on this, make sure they have vision in the vicinity. You can see Gen G trying to establish some there. But 4,000 gold lead, I think Honor Life Esports should start sweeping up these objectives going forwards.
Yeah, you would imagine, especially after the way that last fight went.
Also, you know, I was saying no one feels that tanky. Keen has taken it upon himself. He has said, I will be the tank.
Yeah.
You know, he's gone the, what's it called? The Omni Vamp item? It's escaping me. Riftmaker.
Riftmaker?
Riftmaker. And then I assume that's a Jack show is coming up next.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be bulky.
He's going to be a bit bulky. I mean, the Jax will be a bit bulky, has a bit of that, like, Shinjao-esque-ness where, you know, you kind of throw up a counter-strike and maybe survive for a bit more, and you have some bruiser items, but nobody's really a true tank. The Nautilus is support, so...
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I feel like you're probably still going to get bursted down, but I also think that they probably aren't focusing the Rumble regardless. I think the focus is always going to be Pays.
Yeah. That would be the idea. I mean, at the end of the day, Keen, he did an insane amount of damage in that last fight. Maybe if he's doing more, could be able to, like, get something going on their side with their engage, and then maybe, you know, you burst someone down. But if he's going tanky, you don't quite have the same
It's always a question, though.
backup.
Like, he obviously is going to limit his damage with this build, but he's also going to survive longer. But is that going to be relevant?
Yeah.
It's kind of here or
And
there.
they have an Azir, so they have, like, extra AP damage on top of it. So
Yeah, it
maybe
actually,
he's like, I don't
Toby
need
is going
full
like the
AP.
tank Azir build again. I thought he was going to go the damage build in this game, and it appears not.
2 bruisery AP champs here on the side of Gen G. Doran's eating some damage, but he's Rek'Sai. Delight's really the one. He goes way too deep. We've seen so many people get caught in that exact corridor, and Delight is no different.
Such a massive overstep. The question is, what are Gen G going to do this time? In theory, they could go towards the Baron, but do you really want to be in the Baron pit against this 4-man Honor Life Esports? I feel like losing Delight loses a safety net, but you still have so much power in these fights.
Look at the amount of pings that are going down here from the side of Honor Life Esports. They want to fight this, and I mean, you still have nice pick potential. You take someone out immediately, maybe you get it going. Also a potential for the steal as the Equalizer doesn't do much. They get in the backline. It does go the way of Canyon and paces over the wall. They go super deep for this one as Toby goes deep himself, but Viper gets away. Zeka over the wall with the flash, and will pick up a second kill. Viper on the chase here, looking for a bit more, but Pays and Canyon get away with the Baron buff.
And honestly, this ends up working out for Gen G. It ends up going in their favor. They clutch the smite thanks to Canyon. They end up trading over the whole passage of play about even, you know, if we include the light kill. So I think they'll take it. You know, it looked rough, but it ends up working out. The downside is, though, that you're giving all these kills over the Jinx. It's like just an obvious overstep here. This is a delicate situation. You can see they beeline towards Pays, but it's very hard to kill Pays when he can just dash over the wall. And it ends up being Canyon securing the smite, and the front line of Hanwha just gets destroyed. But here, they manage to secure these 2 kills, and Viper can't really overstep there because there's Ares full HP and the Jax can obviously counter-strike. So, yeah, I mean, Gen G end up getting a pretty big win off the back of that play. And just as you're feeling like maybe this game is starting to go against them, maybe they're losing control, maybe it's just going to be a Honor Life Esports win, they answer back and find a favorable play.
It's going to feel pretty nice. I'm not sure how much value they're going to get out of the Baron buff, but if they group up with the two guys that have the buff, could potentially see some damage done to this outer turret at least.
Yeah, and
bit of chip.
Viper's gone the Bloodthirster, so a lot of AD when he's on high health, a lot of sustain from this, but no LDR. And people are starting to pick up armor on the side of Gen G, mainly the AP soul laners.
There's also Mountain Drakes that are coming out here and there, so yeah, don't face check the Ahri. I suppose somebody had to, but there's no dragon for 2 minutes. As now another charm is going to land. Spirit Rush utilized, and Keen is quite tanky.
Yeah, I'm not sure Zeka checked Keen's items before he went for that play.
Try number 2. Not going to hit the charm.
You know, this seems like you're kind of wasting the ult, but with how low the cooldown is on Ahri ult, this is how you should play. Because you can even look on the left side of your screen. Look at that ult tick away. It's so stupid how quick it comes back.
I remember when Ahri got changed and Faker was playing it a lot. This is the way he used to play, just overly aggressive, sometimes like too much so, you know? And it's because you got to be very proactive on the pick. If you're sitting back and you're doing like tank Ahri builds, and you're not doing damage, it's and you're not making plays, you're just kind of useless. So.
I think the only time where it's a bit concerning if it's like right before an equal objective, you don't wait for it like that. But that is the perfect timing where you want to play, you want to maybe burn a summoner or someone if you can find it. But unfortunately wasn't able to get it, wasn't able to get the charm on a Chovy. And Keen is just a bit too tanky right now. And maybe this is where Gen G can get a big resurgence. They got a lot of gold from the previous passages of play. Oh, Delight.
Oh, Delight. He's going to flash away. The Equalizer doesn't do much, but now Chovy gets the Devour. Does Delight saves him for a little bit, but the dive is still there. Everybody on the side of Gen G getting under that turret. As now the turret trying to come out here, but there's not a lot of damage left on the side of Honor Life Esports, and Pain is running rampant in that backline. Zeka is barely going to get over the wall with his ult getting back, but Gen G make a nice play here in mid.
Yeah, really positive play, and Honor Life Esports were just completely unprepared for it. In the last fight around the Baron, we saw Chovy attempt to shuffle Viper, and Viper flashed it. He knew that was down, he was ready. He's able to catch him, but the gobble comes in from Delight, saves him, but it's not enough in that situation, right? The Tom
Iya, kan start ya.
and the Jinx ends up inside him, and then the Tom gets left.
Yeah.
Still ended up backfiring now. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. Viper's up in a few. See if they can actually make it there in time. Lauren, you need to be underground.
Yeah.
Okay,
there you go.
Genji want to rush this immediately because they know Jinx is to run over here.
Well, okay, they're going to pull it out, and then they are going to rush it down.
Aneh cok game ini.
Peanut still could try to send it, but I think that's pretty risky, and they're just going to let it go. Gen G pick up soul point on the Mountain Soul.
And now they're actually in a gold lead, so much taken away. I feel like Gen G have kind of brought this game back from such a rough position. And I think it's just Honor Life Esports being caught off guard. In that last play, Zeka was top, you know, Peanut wasn't there. Felt like they kind of just expected Gen G to shove a couple of waves in and back away, but they're definitely ready for the fight.
Got caught in their own jungle, and Chovy found the angle and went under the turret. Had the backing of his whole team. Take a look at this once again.
Yeah, I mean, Delight is overstepping here, trying to play defensive. Peanut, like, you can look at Peanut, he's in bot lane, he's not there. And as I said, like, Delight gobbles Viper, but he gets shoved in, and he obviously has no way of stopping that. Lauren survived so long, he's so tanky, because they aren't really able to do anything in return on the back of this. Zeka only ends up burning the ult at the end to get away. Just crazy, a game that really I felt like was so in favor of Honor Life Esports has kind of turned around, and the bulkiness of this Rumble, of this Azir, I think is giving Viper problems. He really needs LDR.
Yeah. It is pretty surprising that he hasn't built it yet.
Well, the fact that Zeka's gone Banshee, you know.
You just don't really have a lot of damage with these kind of builds, but I suppose he'll get it eventually. The game is not quite over. The gold is exactly even. But for the time being, Gen G seems to be very much handling these fights.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the enemy team carries going tanky, and they have double mountain. It feels really bad.
Unless Chovy just stands on choppers, but the turnaround is coming in, and now Dorn is in a lot of trouble. He's going to be burned down, as nobody on the side of Honor Life Esports could follow up on that one. And Gen G, a pick and maybe a Baron.
Kind of seeing what can happen if the Rek'Sai does end up falling behind a bit. He's just getting shredded. Not able to buy enough time with the ult, not able to get off in the CC. Zeka?
Well, at least he has the bans to use, I guess, and now just gonna ult into the Nautilus, and Jovi finds an angle, only hits the top. Kenji's so low! A chance here for Live Esports, but it is Delight to go down first. The flash on in, Viper doesn't have any more summoners. He's gonna go down, and the chase of this comp from Genji is enough to pull them ahead.
Just crazy with how favored this game was towards Live Esports. The team fight setup from Genji has really just been so good, baiting HLE in that situation, and now it's 2 members alive. Doran is spawning soon. They're gonna have to try and stop the game from ending here and now.
Zeka, I think he needs his ult to actually... he's gonna get the smite down, Will Peanut, and now the turn, and then 4-man knockup comes in, gives them a chance to pull this game back. You've gotta be kidding me once again. Another charm is gonna come in and hit base.
Lah.
And clean them up entirely in the base.
Menang dong.
When you think the game is ending, they managed to find their way back in. The question is, will they be able to end? It's a big push to do it. It's about 30 seconds
I think they can.
in my hands. I think they might just go for the Baron on the back of this. I think ending.
Yeah, that's safer.
If Jinx was here, different story, but she's
True.
only just spawned now, so they'll go for the Baron. And I'm literally here like, wow, Genji really just brought this game back and managed to, oh, never mind. Chovy seems like an overstep, but he's just so damn tanky.
Yeah.
The chase down comes in. They set up the Baron here. They engage in the Nautilus, not the best decision. And Viper is patient with the flash, does manage to dodge away from Chovy, but now he is in a vulnerable spot. The light goes down, the cleanup comes in.
Good read from Canyon. He knows there's no summoners here for Viper. Had to flash the wall, so... But then this is just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, the charm there was so fantastic.
Oh.
And then the 4-man knockup. You know, you're seeing the difference with Rek'Sai now with like the multi-man knockups of value you can get. And obviously, in that previous fight, he kind of got one-shot, but if you can't just focus him down, the healing is still very significant.
Yeah. So now, the game is anyone's again. I mean, mid inhibitor is nothing. They didn't get any Nexus turrets.
Yep, Viper has LDR now.
Uh-oh.
But it's Mountain Soul for Genji if they secure this dragon, and they have control of the area. So I'm not sure. They're going to be some very tanky boys if they're able to pick up this soul. It's 30 seconds away, but Live Esports are dealing with that
You second winner.
Yeah, I mean, they can just push out mid and then try to challenge, but they got to be there right when this spawns, because Genji have the damage absolutely to burst it down and get Mountain Soul, and then you've got a big problem. But here is Live Esports. Banana Brush control for Genji. They have control of this area. And they execute it. As here we go, Zeka on in. Very nice hook here from the hands into the wall as Doran goes in. And the rocket hits the front line, and it just looks like Doran is unkillable, but he eventually goes down, and now Toby is in the back line. A very awkward devour as Viper. He gets a reset, but he has no summoners, and he doesn't have the damage. But now, a front line for Zeka. A chance, but the divide comes in, and Toby stands tall alongside of Pace. They do the damage in the pit, and that might just be enough as they take down the Mountain Soul.
Oh, but Zeka's actually keeping in to clear the wave. He's trying to prevent an end here. Mountain Soul goes over Genji. Absolute winners of that fight, of that passage of play. But they won't be able to end the game now. And it just feels like Live Esports, Chovy is such a threat. Zeka's got ult again. He's getting out.
Yeah.
Might be able to force it out.
He's fine. He should be fine.
Yeah. Interesting place to recall, but who am I to judge? Yeah, so just focus on Chovy here. And, you know, the initial play starts to come in. Doran's been a big threat, but it feels like Chovy always has his eyes on Viper every single moment. Sets up the soldier, and then ends up threatening the ult, but doesn't use it. Forces the devour from Delight. Delight's like, where do I go? Get him away from the Azir. And then he gets in the reset on the Nautilus, but now he's in the pit. I mean, if Viper has flash, different story.
Yeah.
You flash over the wall and free hit, but you know, they're just winning that passage of play, especially when Chovy and Paze are still up, still doing the damage.
Yeah. The pump fake was insane. I mean, the fact that he forces the devour, forces that play, zones them into the pit, and gets things back in control here for Genji. I mean, the Mountain Soul is going to be the big one. Don't pay too much attention to the gold. And Yes, I mean, there's still a fed Jinx, but Chovy's insane right now. He's very fed himself, and Hayes is also Zeri.
They're so bulky. I mean, even Zeri has such high base stats. But like Zeri is the squishiest target on this Gen Z roster. And unlike esports composition relies on getting resets. Hard to get any when they're so bulky.
Right, gonna go for Lahan, forces the flash. Spirit Rush, utilize. And now they're on the run. It's kind of difficult to get away from this comp, though. Trying to zoom in here off this deck. He's gonna land a charm on a Chovy, but not committing to this one.
Completely unfazed. And it feels like Gen G are just abusing tank items to victory. That is their strategy.
Fair.
And it's working. You know, this composition from like esports has lost so much follow through. I do think they make for a moment where if Gen G make a big mistake, you suddenly see the Jinx start to take off. But as of right now, that's just not happening. You know, we have the Randuins on the rumble. He's not taking much damage. That 100% crit chance that the Jinx has kind of weirdly convinced you against the tide.
That's true. And the longer the rumble stays alive, I mean, yeah, his damage might taper off a bit because he's not going for damage items, but
He's gonna beat this, but it's working.
it's working. It is. At least he built the Andre, like we said. Right? Build that item. Went even one haunting nice further for the Rift Maker. And he's doing a good amount of work for this team at the moment. Still feels like anyone could win this game. I do think that Gen Z are kind of in the driver's seat with this Mountain
Yeah,
Soul.
I think Gen Z definitely have the edge right now, but it's approaching Elder, and we all know that that just means shenanigans.
Yeah, could be anything.
Oh, that is, I mean, here's a Rexa, that's still bull TP.
Is it bold, or is it just Rek'Sai things? Just back away from it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have done the same if that was like Udyr or Cassante, anything else that's significantly tanky.
I think, yeah, I mean, probably, to be honest. These champions. Yeah, can I get in a little bit of a quiet point, you know? I think we have to take stuff to summoners. Hayes has flashed a little bit longer, and Lahen's without his, not to get the Hex Factory, so a lot of summoners available on like these. I don't know Baron right now. Ideally, on life, secure the Baron, and then use the pressure from it to keep Gen G away. That's like the game plan, but what you think that is done.
I think Gen Z are gonna just tip the Baron over either, as yes, a lot of vision has been cleaned out in the Gen Z jungle, as we can see. But Gen G's just gonna push out mid and say, okay, we'll use this prio in mid to just push and get some vision. Somebody's got to beat here. Off the guy with the counter strike.
Yeah.
And it just pushes forward. They have an Azir turret down in mid as well, so that's gonna keep up the pressure.
Yeah, they're trying to pull them towards Baron where they know they've played out the vision. Gen G get control of Banana Brush. Oh, Zeka.
Yeah, spots him, and now an equalizer right on top of him, but he just stashes away. Pretty low, though, is the Ahri. And Team's ult is going to be longer cooldown on this one. Chovy getting poked out as well, bit by the Zaps. And a rock into the face. That was nearly another one.
Feels so tense. He's available for Zeka. He wants to recall. I think unlike esports benefit from stalling this out, getting some poke in, and getting Ahri's cooldown back available. It's not going to take long. They're actually moving towards the top lane tower here, while Zeka covers mid, and Doran just kind of plays intra. They can't
Twitch going top.
Yeah, they go for the top lane tower.
There's no way Gen Z. I think they might lose their inhibitor here.
The thing is, this seems good, but Elder's up to 40 seconds. Like, they're forcing Gen G back.
Well, yeah, you're gonna force them back. You're gonna force them to fight, I would imagine. I mean, they could even the next turrets, but now back's coming in. Now GeForce don't want to overstep. Chovy looking for an angle now.
Look ahead.
Yeah, he's thinking about it surely. As is Chovy, the light looking pretty tasty right now. Look at him trying to just hobble his way out of here, and the equalizer gonna slow him down even more. The light though is on the top Ken. Chaz flash forward here from Keen, trying to just get that damage in, and now Doran, he gets another, but there's no follow-up here. Ults in, flashes away, and now a chance here for Chovy, gets in, gets a sweep, doesn't hit much, and now he has to go to his own. Yes. Now Peanut over the wall. He's not gonna get over the wall. Not gonna get over the wall. Maybe a good thing actually.
Yeah, long wall there. You can't even go. Fight, but like Baron's up, Elder's up. You have to make something happen.
A charm and a chance, and Canyon gets in, hits the stun onto everybody, and that's gonna be the end of the Jinx, and maybe just the end of the game, as now 4 kills come in for the Zeri. And a push the top wave as Pays will go up here.
Such a scrappy game. You know, I was really cool in the mid game. It felt like Honlife Esports had firm control, but this one, not only is it a huge win for Gen G, but such a filter for Honlife Esports. They must have felt that game was completely in control, and then suddenly everyone in Gen G starts building tanks, and they're all just unkillable.
Get him out in soul, build some tank items, and win some team fights as a death ball. They do exactly that. Gen Z gonna take a 42.5-minute game here as game 3 in the series and take the lead 2-1.
What a hard-fought game there, honestly. I feel like it really came down to the wire. I feel like Honlife Esports, they should have had it. You know, there was a couple of mistakes, but I feel like the mistakes have just been crucified this series. You know, I feel like you go through a whole regular season where there's, you know, maybe two, maybe 3 teams who will punish mistakes this level. And to be honest, it feels like it's been amped up beyond that. You know, it really feels like any small incremental advantage that can be gained will just be magnified so massively. And this must be such a frustrating one for Honlife Esports. They were on blue side.
Yeah.
They came out with a draft. They came out with the rec side, which they must have felt confident behind, but they just could not cut through this bolt.
Look at the goal difference graph too. Yeah, they just couldn't eventually. And the Jinx couldn't really do it alone in the late game. I mean, Zeka going for a tankier build, a safer build. He got many different picks. They tried to make it work, but eventually the Ahri Vi falls off a little bit when everybody's so tanky and Viper can't flash everything.
I mean, Ahri isn't a tank buster, and the thing is, even if you save the Jinx from what normally happens is the shuffle comes in, you get gobbled out, then Chovy's on you, you're just not doing damage for like 6-7 seconds.
Yeah. And they did not do enough damage in that game to win it. Gen G take the lead 2-1. We're gonna have a break in the space. We'll break down game 3. We will be right back.
まだ優勢ではありません。
正義はここにある。
まだ立ち上がりますか。
君らは個性とし、君らに選ぶ余地はない。
すべて涙ヒッ触れて
始めよう。
敵データ捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。
この程度か。ランドゥの名の小説の志は朽ちることなし。覚悟しろ。
まだ立ち上がりますか。
任せろ。
나이스. 아직 몰라. 일단 아직 몰라. 아직 안 끝나니까 아까 약간 빨리 깼어. 나 이거 끊어 붙였어. 그래 10초. 끝났다. 나이스. 짱가.
涙
좋은 거야 그냥.
ヒッ
나이스.
触れて
そこまでだ。始めよう。君らはこの生とし、君らに選ぶ余地はない。
敵データ収捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。出発の時間だ。すべて涙ヒッ触れてあふれる。 逆位置不利燃やし尽くせ痛い逃がさないわ難解な予言協調よ記憶が皆そこで深淵を迎える落ち着いて素晴らしいさようならお注射の時間よ運命の道平気よ感謝失ってしまう礼儀がなってない最悪の力呼吸するその感覚覚えておいてほんの気持ちよ気にしないで運命の導きに感謝戻れ戦闘は設計みたいに立ちなさい記憶皆そこで深淵を迎えるまだ分かって人間は星空を掌握する欲望を隠さない私もよ全員しや逃がさないわこれから素晴らしい時はさようなら
Aku salah gua masih mikir anjing.
ひどい雨に
とどまれ僕がいる
Tolol.
초비가 한판 엎어치기를 이게 얼마짜리 토스인가요? 대왕돼지 완전 호랑인데요. 하나 생명이 스포츠입니다. 내가 없는 곳에서 생각 중하지 말라. 지지율이 많이 올라갈 것으로 예상돼요.
まだ優勢ではありません
始めよう
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the space. We're here to break down game number 3 and Genji's acquisition of match point. With one more win here, they could find themselves spot at MSI and spot at the LCK final. And go for that 4 in a row. Absolutely extraordinary stuff. So much on the line. And the intensity of this series, guys, is too damn
まだ
high.
立ち上がりますか
任せろ
We really are having it something. We're going up, we're going down. We think the game is over. There's a Rek'Sai with a 4-man knockup.
君らは
This
個
game
性
is
と
insane.
し
I think in general the series is
君らに選ぶ
building,
余地
building in intensity. It's
敵
the
データ
cleanest
捕獲
Street
マー
Fighter
ク
I've
起
ever
動
seen.
愉快な反撃の時間です
This series really is kind of throwing me for a loop in terms of how intense it feels at any given time. The goal leads don't really ever get further than what, like 3-4K for either team. And Chovy gets a 0. That's the end of the draft, actually. I wish I was memeing, but I'm not. And the Rek'Sai, I think, was the other big factor looking into this. But I don't think this was a bad draft, except for Chobi getting a Z.
Yeah, I mean, also they're like the other hand, at least for HLE, they have Levi, and they still are trying to make them play as much as they can. Like with the Vine starting the first, like as you said, I think it's just getting draft is more things like this time.
What I love about Gen G is that they saw what the Humble Life draft attempts to do, which is you play very forward, very aggressive, Jinx
Bisa loncat.
you get a reset, Jinx gets decided to win everything.
Gambarnya.
Right, you pretty good front line, you have Jinx, start fight, but most people look at it into a pick. But because Keen went for Battle Rumble, and Mountain Soul was rolled, like, Ari's damage at some point was just not relevant anymore. And because Viper went for a really good ODR as well, like, you can look at this and really easily see how one life takes over the game, and James just didn't allow it.
Yeah, it just didn't quite work. The doors were never really open, and even though there was so much heroism and the fact that the game almost was just over, and then it was saved, and then it was almost over again, was just... Yeah, it was ridiculous, but there were these things that Gen G did have for themselves. Let's have a look at our first highlight here, which did occur quite late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is like where actually the Barons, the fight started. I think Gen G show up first, like the proactive play. He's just like pulling the dash, and just when they come in, that's the time that actually just Chobi just really pulled out, observed so much pressures, and then just flash out and just observe so much like the ability there. It's really crazy.
Nice sense about Kaiser on the charm. I think he really needed a comeback game. He wasn't the main character by any means, but he did play a clean Zeri game. And this is where the casters were like, man, Gen G, they've done it. And we all think that. Then Doran comes in.
Boom.
Multi-man knock-up. And from that point on, you know, Baron gets picked up, they can't end, but still, the turn from Humble Life,
yeah, I mean,
nuts.
This is like a little bit of the miscalculated from the Gen G on, obviously, like, they thought they could actually defend it, but which is like, it's kind of tough. But I mean, it's just like more so before actually these happen, HLE, like, they got, especially the deal like got caught one time.
Mati dong, goblok, goblok.
Well, speaking of more opportunities to make the play, we then had what occurred in the late game, and this was
Mati
a
nggak sih lu?
lot of jostling for position. The Baron was foregone, and the top lane was where Harmonline Esports thought they found an opening.
Because here, you have TP available.
Gak jelas bajingan.
We have Jinx, they need to respond. Because they're ahead of the play, Gen G doesn't have Baron buff, they don't really have the opportunity to try and answer base race. But the problem is, if you do go this deep to get the inhib, which is great with the setup because Elder is coming up soon, you need to either get out or hard commit to the fight. And this is where I think we really see a big mistake from Alpha, because Zeka doesn't TP it already feels like it's a little bit too late. And if he just TPs, it's straight up 5 versus 5.
That's what I mean. Like, it's Ari has to be there, like, and then just like trying to lend the charm as much as they can. And also the thing is like the Gen G were waiting for the Rumble Equalizer, the CVE, and they're just like the HL just don't know what to do because like they obviously have one member is missing and just TPing so late already. The guy, people is like actually out of the fight, and it's like it's not fightable because Zings cannot lend any single the rocket to the enemy team.
Yeah, Peanut misses the Q, but I think that's not the problem. You're right. Like, I don't think that Q changed anything because Chobi has 3k HP and like 270 armor because he has Mountain Soul at this point in time. It's really those key moments that the light getting caught and then here them hesitating on the TP that I think end up being the reason why Gen G, even though it was a very arduous effort.
Now, Huni, there is one question we need to ask you, and that is a rating for King. What was the Battle Rumble? The Rumble with the Rift Maker. He did go for Sorcerer Shoes.
I'll rate it. He did kind of take the game, but he kind of ran the game early on as well. So I think it was I would say it's like really fair enough for like his equalizer middle of the game wasn't that bad, and it wasn't too bad.
All right. So we're giving it a pass, 3.5 stars. Let's have a look at who picks up POG. Obviously, it's Chovy. It has to be Chovy. It always is. And 2, 4, and 16. You're like, oh, but like that's not a great scoreline. Well, I mean, it is pretty good if you like math.
Look at the game. Like anyone that watched the game goes to this like, yeah, Chovy 1v9, and you might not see it when you look at the score, I don't even know, I don't even remember like really what the damage charts look like. I'm sure Pace did a lot because it was Zeri and he was kind of unchecked in this one. But without Chovy, they're not winning like at least half of these team fights.
Yeah, this guy's too crazy. Like, obviously, they have a TK as well. It's just like also the mind game. Like, look at here. He's just not using it. He's just waiting for enemy to use a D.Va first, and then just hold the ulti, and it actually just killed the team fight, the whole thing.
Yeah, completely locked in. Absolutely ridiculously amazing play from Chovy here. 10 out of 12. We do have one going over to Paze there. Shout out to Ox for noticing that there was a quadra kill towards the end of the game. So kudos for that one. But otherwise, everyone's understanding that the Emperor is the one. So now, it's time to throw it back to the casters to get into match point for Gen G and see whether we can cure the Silver Scrapes.
Thank you, Spacers, for that awesome breakdown. We are going to be jumping into game number 4 in a very short amount of time. Ox, reasons for your Pace vote?
It was always going to be POG, but I wanted an honorable mention for Pace. Get a good bounce back game, you know?
Sure.
So, I'm fine with the vote. Chovy, though, I feel like what's kind of crazy is the fact that we've seen the game transform so much over the past however many years that Legends has been out, where back in the day it was like you could have these big solo carry performances and pro play, and the game has shifted and it's been a lot more about team play. It's not about one individual player being the carry and just putting the weight of the whole game on the shoulders. It's been like, how can you coordinate as a team? And this series is making me not really believe in that anymore. Chovy is just really Chovy different this series. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but I legitimately think this could have been a 3-0 Honor if it wasn't for some of the plays he was making. He really is that guy. And before I get started, once again, we have Honor Esports on the blue side. Once again, they will go Rel, Varus, Lucian, and Genji, Senna, Maokai, Kalista, and I imagine it's Rek'Sai first pick once more. It's not, it's Zeri.
It's Zeri! Okay. I mean, they say, well, Ox voted for Zeri, so it must be pretty good. But now you're giving over Rek'Sai.
Yeah, and we just see what they pair with it. You can go Rek'Sai. You can go Rek'Sai Sedge. I think that's maybe a bit of overcommit onto trying to serve the Rek'Sai, who kind of is just fine top lane, you know. Or you could go like Nord Rai. You don't have to pick both now, but definitely picking an answer to the Zeri pretty powerful. Perhaps you just put Chovy on Azir again. He's been pretty good at that
Seems
pick.
good, yeah, I like that. And they're gonna do it. Why change it up? It's working this well.
Okay, I honestly... The thing is, you know he's gonna go tank Azir, so like... But I don't think you have a choice. I think the best combination from like Esports, the thing that looked good for them was kind of that game 1 where they had like a full dive pump and they could coordinate it. Maybe that's the play. You can just lean into that again. They're looking at the buy themselves.
Yeah, you could go Ahri buy, you could go buy on.
Yeah, they're really wanting a heavy commit. They're like, we are going to kill Chovy or die trying. That seems to be the play in this one, which is, you know, I think it's a decent idea, but it's going to be a hard task. Pace looking towards the Kai'Sa. We haven't seen a ton of Kai'Sa this season, but definitely Victor is very matching well there. And Kai'Sa Nord, a pretty strong duo. You know, when Chovy gets the 4-man shuffle, he just ult in, right?
Yeah, you can do that. That is what Kai'Sa does. Hasn't been picked a whole lot, but we know that it does have power, and it's been shown here and there to be pretty decent, but certainly this area feels sometimes just like Kai'Sa. Rek'Sai is going to be banned away.
Yeah, it's interesting because Genji could take Rek'Sai himself. Instead they opted to ban it, so don't want to play against it. Feel like he's very impactful on it, but also keen on it himself. Which just opens some questions like, could Jeff be a ban on Live Esports? Yes, apparently it will be, because obviously Rek'Sai kind of, units kind of outmatch any difficult scenario. Maybe the Rumble comes in as a ban as well.
Yeah, he looked really good on that one. And, I mean, seems like a pretty solid ban. It's one of the higher tier things that available. You can look towards Kasante as well if you want to continue targeting the top lane. You could also try to take away Ahri if we were thinking about that for the Ahri buy, but instead we take damage against Zeka.
Yeah. I guess I'm just not that concerned about the Ari. Or maybe thinking he'll go clear instead. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up panning out. Senju only gets banned. Nine a jungle pick in the middle of the series. But you also given R5 kind of picked a Keen with Rumble open. It looks like he's just going to lock in the Kasante now. Doesn't feel threatened to the side now. Doran could opt to go for the Jace again. Can be a little bit finicky in this matchup with the amount of setup that Kasante has. Could go for the Rumble themselves, could lean into things like connections that we've seen throughout the split. It looks like Zeka is going to go for Talia here.
I like the Rumble shout, actually. I think layering the equalizer on top of the Hearts to see you already have, it's not going to be easy for Genji to move around. You can control even more space. It can lane decently well into the Kasante. But at the end of the day, it is his choice. Could even look towards the Aatrox if you wanted Talia to be solo AP.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Aatrox here. I just feel like your comp really wants to go in, and I don't think it really matches up with that. The Jace, though, at least has a long-range poke, so you can kind of, you know, just soften them up a bit before you end up committing with the dive. And Doran did have a good game on it earlier that they were pretty happy with. Now looking towards the jungle pick for Canyon in this situation. Is it just going to be the Lee Sin?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty solid pick for him. You know, I feel like we've had some pretty adventurous, pretty interesting drafts that have come out so far this series. I feel like this is possibly one that's been just a bit more, you know, definitely some power pieces on either side, but just kind of trading off. Do think that I like Life Esports draft more. I feel like the Vi, Ari is really strong. Zeri, Khan really strong fights. The Jace did really good for Dora. But they're against Chovy Azir, which it's been such an issue this whole series. I guess at least they have the new Rebel Earth, so they can throw that down, but he tries to dash in. And they're like, no, Chovy.
It's going to help, you know, and you have a lot more lockdown. You have very reliable engage, not only with Vi, but also with the Rakan. And it's not like the Zero is taking cleanse or anything like that, nor is the Nautilus going to be rushing the Kale. So I think it's not a bad combination for the side of Life Esports. But I am curious to see. I mean, if Genji get ahead and you have very reliable engage on their side as well, with the Nautilus and the Azir at least, I mean, you're relying a little bit on the Nautilus there, but maybe Lee can help out with that. Something kind of run it down.
Yeah, I mean,
you have the Kai'Sa and Azir to do the damage.
I think both comps are very playable. You know, I feel like I had my opinions for the last draft that I think Life Esports all the way out of deficit. So I think ultimately it's going to come down to play.
And game number 4 is ready. Let's hop into the rift right now. Here we are, Genji, 1 game away from qualifying directly to the grand finals. And also getting a seed 9. Must be a lot of pressure, but also it feels like the team is very effective. He's tending to turn it around in a good way in that last game. Looked a lot better. Did a good job of support from Chovy. So, you know, it feels pretty good for Genji with the momentum on that last game to just try to do a bit more of that. But it was a close one. Let's see if Life Esports can make it.
And I feel like they have definitely in this series. Like, there's never been a straightforward, easy game yet. And I'm really hoping they maintain that in this one. Careful. That's a Halo Blade. Yeah, use the brush and he knows he has equal tempo. He doesn't get a stack, he isn't doing anything. Well, the rush. Yeah, as I was saying, like, this game is the one where you think maybe Life Esports could crumble because, you know, especially after losing that last game, it must be a bit of a tilter. But they haven't showed any signs of slowing down. And yeah, Rakan has been going through a bit of a rough one. It's a fantastic pick for the light specifically. And layering here.
Every other player on that list is like, I guess Cario was there as well, but a lot of them were just lower tier, teams in the LCK that haven't won a lot. So
It is true, but it's also like there's always that argument. There's also like, well, why are the lower teams picking this team moves on? Like part of the problem for like a lane track is also like the prevalence of picks that really make it painful for Khan. Clear being a massive one, but unfortunately that's on like esports side. And I kind of spotted by this ward, but actually no, he's stuck around.
That is a very awkward spot for it to be in.
君らはこの杖と
Oh no!
君らに選ぶ余地はない
Swapped back to his gun as well. The Q is going to land here already.
Mati dorang.
And one more hit would do it. There it is. First blood given over to Canyon, who was given R5 Lee Sin and is looking to make it work.
How did he know?
Level 2 Lehens is here in mid, and now Zeka is dead. Lehens making a play early on in the game.
Yeah, you know what I was talking about maybe Honolulu a little bit gloom. I would be after this. I certainly would feel a little bit gloom after this. How did Canyon know? Maybe some good scouting on but I feel like Darn puts you forward like a little bit.
No, memek.
I mean, it just straight up looks
Ini kenapa kestun? Oi.
like it just looks like it's
Oi, gila, bete gua.
It should give vision of the left side of the brush if it's in the brush.
I mean, is it just outside completely?
It looks like it. They pinged
Yeah, it is. They
they know.
pinged it. It's outside. So Darn just griefed himself. There's no other way to spin it.
Yep.
僕がいる
Mana bisa kestun itunya anjing.
That's not what Canyon said. That's what Ox said. Just waits for the flash. He's already slowed by red buff and
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a kill board. And then there's a little lack of cryo bot. The Hens wanders in. Zeka can try and flash and hook.
yeah. The level 2 Nautilus in mid lane is speaking of tilters. That's one that wins every solo game. And Zeka is a pro, but it seems like he didn't expect it either.
ランドゥの名の小説の志は朽ちることな
Not
し
looking promising, like this early on. A lot of veterans on this roster though. The hope is that they are able to bounce back. But best start for sure.
I just want
Jadi orang ini cak masalah dunia itu.
君らはこの杖と
they win it here. Absolutely
君ら
deserve
に
it.
選ぶ余地は
Card is just struggling to spot. The Nautilus. The thing is, if you W the Nautilus, then it gives Phase free range, and the Nautilus with Aftershock isn't going to take that much damage. So, hence, kind of playing with 3 advantage. He's got no flash here.
Yeah, turn around. They want to punish the hands for the play he just made, and they will, in fact, do that. And they'll even give the skill over to Viper. So, bit of a trade back. Canyon, meanwhile, is going to take the point.
We're back. We're back in it. Honolulu Esports never going to give up. Definitely a little bit of immediate rep. You can actually say going over the page. Viper, sorry, is fantastic kick balls really on the Zeri. We do see Canyon having taken 2 Void Grubs, charging down. Pick up the Rift Scuttle. It looks like we'll probably just clean up that last Void Grub. How soon? It's a new camp, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it moved. I'm pretty sure it sidestepped it.
Maybe it did. I mean, we didn't have vision. How do we know?
Yeah. There's just no way
君
of
らはこ
knowing.
の杖と君らに選ぶ余
Teams
地は
level 6. Kusate, Doran, Yosada, Flash, and Indeed. This might look like one of those games.
Ini kenapa Gepard gua nggak berjalan ya anjing?
Not the powerhouse that we saw in game 2.
Yeah, I feel like Jace is such a fickle champion. It can be the most broken champion. It can feel like the most broken champion in the game. Just doing shoot shots left from a mile away. And it can also feel so incredibly useless. Like Honolulu people don't want it to be useless, so they're here to counter.
There is about to be a big shebang in the top lane. It's a 4v4, and now Venus is going to be dragged over the wall. Doesn't blast away, and Toby not able to get over either. And now another wall's coming in, and Zeka looking to join under the turret. Has Genji gone too far? The answer looks like yes for now, but Toby going to sweep up Doran and at least trade it back. And now Toby here full on health.
Nah, udah kalau ini mati.
Will they continue is really the question. Standing in the plate cold, looks like they'll back.
Somehow, I can say though, even in that situation where like, it's a 4v4, but they're fighting under tower. Genji still win it out. Keen being level 6, a big advantage there. And it felt like Genji were ready, They kind of knew people missing to the side of Honolulu Esports. Maybe they're looking for a counter here. Ends up being a 1-for-1. Unfortunately, Doran does pick up a kill, but goes down once more.
Yeah, and at least he gets the money, but he's still 12 CS down on this Cassante. The wave was pushing away from him after the fight under the turret. Not a good spot for him at all.
Yeah, and Canyon does his homework. He checks his brush before starting the dive. Just Cassante things, just drag Peanut away. He does manage to get the flash out. The knock away from Doran there pretty clutch. I think Peanut probably would have just died.
Yeah.
A very scrappy Zek comes in. Unfortunately, doesn't get the knockback on the Nautilus. The Nautilus still goes down, but you know, was maybe hoping for a bit more value there and his low mana on the back end. So very scrappy. But
yeah.
The light?
He's fine.
He's okay. He's repellent. He's fast.
He's not Nautilus, where if you hook there, you'd probably just die. So gets in, gets out, and he's fine. And yeah, I mean, Zeka, especially with the early Archangel Staff build, you're just sitting on mana, which is not damage. I mean, it can be, I guess, in an extended fight. But something not hit anything. There is a Drake here. Cannon did get the 3 Void Grubs and might actually look for both objectives for the team.
Yeah, Dragon here. You can see Zeka actually keeping both up. Maybe they're going to fight this. He does not have the ball available. They'll look to contest.
Already out of this goes. Just stay far on par for now until the TP is about to be available.
The team trying to keep him engaged and have a chance to steal. Something very easily interrupted.
Keeping at least Canyon. It's okay. Give it a try. And the dragon to be burst down, and no, it goes the way of Canyon. Pops in with the Q. The Q sits down with the spikes, and it goes the way of Genji.
Yep. Good smite from Canyon there. Able to dash in, pick it up, and disengage. You can see Genji with a little bit precarious about taking the fight. I think particularly with Viper now being level 6, combined with the power of Peanut's ultimate, it is a little bit concerned. They're happy to take the dragon in this engagement situation. More than happy to do so.
Get Valiant with not a whole lot of risk. Always going to feel nice. So Blake did go the way of Viper, and he is ahead on CS down in the bottom lane. So that is one potential future win condition for the side of esports. Maybe can utilize that extra farm. Carry some fights at certain moments. But for now, still a while away to get to that territory.
Yeah, that's like a top lane back. Probably been fun for a while. It's always like, you know, you lock in something like Jace, like it's gonna go great, I'm gonna be harassing, I'm gonna be doing big damage, I'm gonna be winning lane, and you get ganked once, it's like, I don't want to do this.
And then you become a Cassante. That's the full evolution of the top lane. Not in this game, and unfortunately they don't have another game, so no time to become a Cassante once or more, in this series at least.
Have to win on Jace in the right place. He's got a trouble winning, that's why he's allowed to play Cassante.
Oh, baited in, team taking multiple turret shots, and now, do they have the damage is the question. Peanut not going to continue. They see Canyon.
They're just so scared of this champion. You can see like Peanut pre-flash. He's like, he's going to ult me through the wall. He's going to ult me through the wall. Don't, you know, they're like, I want to kill him, but I don't want to get near him. It's kind of ridiculous that that passage of play can happen. He's so low on HP and they're still so afraid of getting near him. And I think they're justified, honestly. I mean, I know people will be watching this, but like, that looks a little bit goofy. What were they doing? They were scared of Cassante, and I think we can all appreciate that.
I'll relate, yeah.
Because I'm scared of Cassante, and I'm not even playing the game right now.
Yeah. Especially King's Cassante. I said it before we even started the series. I think this guy is best at team fighting on the team fighting in general. And he goes to it in game number 4. So we get to see it here. See if it does work out, if they can close out the series at 3-1 spread for the side of Genji. It's not super common, but still a lot of attention. And the way that Toby is playing right now seems to be a pretty good call. Let's see if they can close it out.
Okay, so they saw that ward just get placed in the brush, so they know someone is here. They now know exactly who they are. Peanut's here, doesn't have ult.
They are going to commit into this. The flash engage from Lahen's sails totally wide. As Jovi looks like he's going to stop him from getting over, but it doesn't quite matter as now Canyon in a bit of trouble himself as well. It's just going to be 2 kills to the Zeri, who is now 3-0. Viper
Fokus.
from the dives of Genji.
I feel like this is always where, like, the Zeri pops off, you have an early skirmish before you even think of it as being a problem, and she just slides in, picks up a couple of kills, and then suddenly you're like, oh, 3-0 Zeri, that's not looking too good for us.
It's true. I mean, she is one of the best at following up on plays, and going that deep is very dangerous if this area is ever there. Now, you might not expect Viper to be in the top lane at 12 minutes in the game, but with the amount of dives we've been seeing and how long it took to actually pull the trigger on that,
This just feels like, you know, like the average bot lane game where you have like 5-man bot constantly in the series, where we're getting kind of the reverse. Like the whole team is just top lane, kind of protect the J4.
I think it's fine if you do your homework and play things don't respond as well as they have been. I mean, they have been really quick, and sometimes the dives have still worked out for the side of Genji, but that one absolutely did not. So Homalife Esports take the gold lead for probably the first time in the game, as they're still trying to bully.
Yeah, Doran said something. I mean, I don't think I say he said something. I think this whole game you just have to assume there's like 3 people in every rush.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you play the Jace on this one. Safe assumption to make, I think.
And it makes sense. I mean, on the side of Genji, you have Santu great at setting up plays, and it's the Jace who did 42k damage in 30 minutes in one of the games in the series. So of course it's not very good at surviving ganks either.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, does it work out? I mean, Soren's about to finish a call. He did die twice. And Zeri's so
The answer is kind of a we'll see. I feel like that's been the consistent theme of this series. Second dragon will be picked up by Genji though, and they are hoping to high roll a good soul on the back of this.
Ya Allah, yang diculik yang itu kontol parok anjing.
Not great. But still, like, decent against the Jace poke. Have to be a target to benefit from it. Definitely would love to have a mountain on the back of this one, especially with Tankazir likely to come in for the 3rd time this series. I know Chovy would love some mountain dragons in here.
yeah. Would have liked it, but that's just the luck of the draw. At least you can get more health, so that this is the dive. Top.
Yeah, and they actually start to try to switch. Lahen goes for the flag shot, Tina dodges it.
Me watching a stream.
We'll give Tina credit. And then, yeah, Viper needs to slide over, finish him off. Pretty easy going.
Zeri says, oh, is it over already?
Yeah, I was hoping for a few more on the back of that. No pentakill. Not late. How sad.
Hey, I feel like it's happened. Maybe not level 8, but like level 10, 11-ish. Surely. In one of our many games of Zeri that we've had.
Far too many.
Yeah.
I just want to take this moment to say, how nice is it that Smolder's in here?
Yeah. I don't think anyone really... I mean, we had that one epic game where it looked like we might get a stalemate, and then Guma just shot him out of the sky, and then it was over.
Yeah, but I think, there were some fun games, but I definitely don't miss the...
Kalau kita bisa menamatkan Forgotten Hole adik-adik.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminded when we were talking about Zeri and Pentakills. Unlike he's what's setting up this, Darn already chucked low, and Keen has TP.
Yeah, look at this TP war on the bottom left. It's going to be massive if he ever TPs. Oh, it's just going to go to Canyon. And now the Wombo comes in, a massive sweep from the side of Chovy. And yes, a bit of damage goes back, and the Zeri is surviving. They get a kill onto Canyon, but can Viper do it alone is really the question. Doran's getting in there.
Ya.
Take out the carry, as now Keen getting in there on the Cassandra.
Anjing Viper sih licin ya. Ngentot di wah. Dijigal. Oh, tetap mati. Anjing. Viper, bro. Kayaknya coba Zeri itu keluar lebih awal. Pasti. Dan Pakai hard disk nggak lu? Pakai. Pakai for you, pakai. Kenapa tuh emang? Ada apa dengan hard disk? Salah gua. Ya oi bener-bener aja lah anjing. Masa ke situ semua lo? Nggak masuk akal gitu loh, nggak make sense anjing. Nyerang ke satu karakter mulu, yang di tengah mulu.
Completely shut down the Herald. It means Herald Jet as an objective really slam it down, and they kind of forgot about the potential there.
Chelsea had a great time. Sweet baby Jinxes. By the way, Doran in a lot of trouble. As does the power of the Kaisa, I suppose, gets in on a Doran. Holy, the rest of the team was not running that Doran.
Remember I said that thing about every brush has 3 people in it? Well, it did. It did. So, I mean, it was only the Naught at first, but it didn't take long for it to become 3 people. And Doran just a little bit of an oopsie there. Changed his life.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good team fight, but
he was ready for another. Wait, did he see Lehens walk in the brush?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna assume not for his sake.
Yeah, let's say he didn't.
He didn't see it.
Yeah, no, he totally didn't. I don't actually know, but no. An Ocean Drake is about to spawn. Meanwhile, Zeka's like, oh crap. Away from that.
Like, why are you guys here? I know Govi's the main carry, but let me lane. And they just give up the rockets. I mean, this is the thing. It's a lower value soul. You only have to choose something like soul or elbows anytime soon anyway. So Genji opting to put that pressure topside instead. I think it's understandable, especially a singular out Ocean Drake this late.
Yep. This is it. 2% max health. Every 5 seconds.
Health every 5 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, even worse.
Yeah.
Not feeling great. But on the side of Genji, they're going to feel great. Yes, they won't be able to spawn an Elder quite as fast as you mentioned, but they get an inner turret in the top lane. And take a gold lead here by about 400. As it has been this entire series, the gold leads have not been very close.
Yeah. It's never been like a huge lead. I feel like this game was the closest when like it was 2 plays. Even I was like, oh, is this gonna be a stomp?
Yeah.
No. This series has just been very back and forth. And honestly, I feel like regardless of who wins here, unlike these will go down to that lower bracket. Whoever ends up matching them out of D plus C1.
I mean, how like people already just made focus T1, right? So
Yeah.
maybe T1 can get some confidence by defeating DK if they do.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope they'd come back stronger, but
it definitely, I think the point is that these two teams look like by far the two strongest teams at the moment.
for sure. And very even though Genji got the edge, even though they're ahead right now, it feels like every game can go either way. Which honestly, we haven't had that often in series. Even if a series is close, sometimes we get games that are a bit more one-sided.
Yeah.
This one has been battled throughout.
Well, both teams just posturing around the mid-side, kind of just K-Ram at the moment, but if you're sitting around and Jace is hitting big damage, then you're going to be feeling pretty good. Doubtful there for Jace, just to save himself. And, I mean, how like these first just looking for a pick at this moment in time. He can't do Baron early, but standing on a ward, and now it's, even though it's Kasane, 5v1 is pretty good on for the side of Homolife Esports. That's a free pick on the game, and maybe now they'll start the Baron.
Yeah, really nicely done. They catch him with the seismic shove, and then they CC him before he can even use his W to kind of block it out. And now, starting up the Baron, I would not risk a flip here. Canyon has had Venus number when it comes to smites, but if they can start a fight, they still have ult available.
Yeah, they're gonna look to turn, and Jovi gets away from that one. Peanut taking a huge amount of damage, actually, but Lahan's kind of left out to dry as the turn does come in, but they're only hoping for one kill. Jovi still trying to run. He's gonna have to fight away the Talia on the wall. Incredible timing, as he's always had against that ability. Slash.
You know, I feel like that so easily could have been 3 kills into Baron and the game is done. I actually want to watch the replay to see how he dodged away from the light there. And he just managed to dash it. The next play though, they don't let him touch the button. I think that's a big takeaway. No one gets in a position where he can like hold them to get out. And by the time he uses that final ability, it's not enough. You see here, Delight is fishing for Chovy, ends up stepping on a ward, and just dashes through him. He still takes the charm, but the Mirk Treads mean it's short. He's able to get away. The Hens just get spaced it out. Again, I think this is going to be so much worse for Genji.
This divide.
Oh, man.
敵データ捕獲マーク起動愉快な反撃の時間です
But
手の孤独しようがない
you
わ
know,
ね
how many
おや
difference
すみ
get a nice little pick, but it ends up just being a couple of kills to their side. It's
気持ちよ
absolutely
気に
not
しないで
Yeah, I mean,
支援
Genji was already notably getting it, but they still are dealing with a 7-0 there. So, yeah, mitigate that, I guess, is what Life Esports is saying.
I'd say Lahen's job, very important in this game. Pressing R at the right time on the Viper and making sure that there is less of a problem than she already
敵
is.
ターゲットを
Yeah,
確
with
認
Runans
まだ
and
立ち上がります
Elga
か
already completed.
任せろ
One of the issues we had in the previous game was Jinx not really being able to come through. Viper's doing a lot of damage already, especially if the next time gets complete, he will shred. Even Keen.
Aduh, ngentot.
I don't think the
Geter gini gua ketemu Kamen Riderin anjing.
is going to be as viable in this game.
The Jinx just doesn't quite have the same feel.
君らはこの杖とし君らに選ぶ余地
Yeah,
はない
exactly. Just totally taking over games and stuff. I mean, there were opportunities surely for the Jinx, but not quite the case. Because now Lahen, he's gonna get the grab here on a Viper and maybe a chance, but now the peel comes through. Toby's got some soldiers forward, but they want to burst him down 100 to 0. They don't quite do it though. The damage comes through, but look at the damage. Toby gets a 3-man sweep on in and just turns the fight, takes out the Zeri. Down goes Delight, down goes Doran, and Zeka is alone. The stopwatch timing is so good, but Toby eventually does go down, but it's traded.
敵データ集捕獲マーク起動愉快な時間で
I
す
just can't believe he keeps playing these fights. It feels like so flawlessly every time. Finding the key targets. Every time the game starts to feel like it's going in Half-Life Esports' favor.
出発の時
Kobe just finds a way to turn it around. The fight's a little bit messy, you know. Peter dodges away from the ult, and as a result, Viper gets caught out, and he seems struggling to make an impact with his range, but Kobe eats full CC
君ら
chain.
はこの杖
Doesn't
と
end
し
up going down, and then just
君
as
ら
it
に選ぶ
feels
余
like
地はない
the fight's disengaging,
ほん
he
の
gets
気持ち
the
よ
shuffle on
気に
Viper.
しないで
He has had Viper's number this whole series long.
涙
Yeah, especially because, you know, he has to flash.
来る
Knowing he would be an easier target. Let's see what he says.
お注射の時間よ
Go, 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 go.
おやすみ
The fact he also catches Delight on the other end, he can't do anything, he shields, dodges the knock up here.
자, 앞에서 맞을 거 있나?
Seems like I'm more important right now.
まだ立
He's
ち
like,
上
you're
が
on
り
your
ま
own,
すか
buddy.
敵データ集捕獲マーク起動愉快な反撃の時間です
And now it's second Ocean Drake of the game, and both teams are here.
It's a 4K gold lead for Gen G.
Trying to make a play like
Aduh, ngentot salah anjing.
he will go.
Harusnya gue delay dulu, terus gue ngulti pakai ini.
気にしないで
時期を読んだいい指導だ
Just in case. And now they're on soul points.
Yeah, they've been...
Salah gue anjing, anjing.
決勝だ面倒をかけて
Oh, I love something here.
And they scan down the mission. Lahen looks dead. Oh, the
Gue nih nyebelin cok, Kamen Rider anjing.
eventually Vibes presses R.
ほんの
And
気
they
持
take
ち
him
よ
out. Still a lot extra had to be used to take him down.
Yeah, I think he misstated Lahen's job. We thought it was to press R on the Zeri. It's actually just to die.
And look away.
Yeah, and
Trying to bait out as many things as possible.
Exactly, burn as many cooldowns as possible. They burn like Vile, Clear Walls, Aerial, so much on that lane.
He's waiting for it. The Unraveled Earth is really the one thing that peels well, but if you can dodge that, you're not getting away. Well, that was cool. And now, okay, stop one Sonya to get away from the knockup, but quite the game-breaking divide we've seen.
Missing an ult.
Yeah, honestly,
IMP, I mean, come on.
you know, I'm voting for Lahem. Doing much more.
Yeah, he's...
I don't have him.
So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the issues with Rakan is the champion has a lot of potential, like, he does really well. So quick. So opposition. You just get blown up so quickly. Apparently that's also true for Nautilus. It was a really nice few to buffer the knockup, but he does eventually go down. He kind of gets sick of him not dying, goes, I will kill him. Sure, open auto brush. No, don't do that again, Andy. You can't do that to him.
Smite it. Totally fine for Tina to do that.
Sitting on the same item for like the last 6 minutes or something.
Yep. Should almost have them.
Should be very close.
Really not much left.
Yeah.
That item.
It's one of the big problems. It feels like you can have this kind of cost 4 or 5 for a while.
時期を読んだ君らはこの生とし君らに選ぶ余地は
Genji have certainly taken some big strides into the lead. Feels like one of the bigger leads we have had actually in this series in terms of gold, about 4,000. And they're on the cusp of an Ocean Soul, which again, would be nice into the poke of the
Especially with how bulky the Azir is again. You know, everyone was like, oh god, we have a big back in the playoffs, like, is it Azir enabled? I'm really okay with it.
時期を読んだいい資料だ
This is
始めよう
obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, our players are very smart. They keep
君らはこ
iterating
の生とし
and making new and
君らに
interesting
選ぶ余
builds
地は
Yeah.
for the balance team to then squash
While,
and get rid of.
why would you deal
Paham gua dengan sama nih anjing.
deal damage and be tanky? It's
It's pretty clear cut.
this message was
Yeah.
sponsored by Cassante.
Yeah. And Aatrox, I guess.
Yeah, the tank Aatrox you can see in.
With only lethality items.
It's beautiful.
Pena's having trouble getting over walls
No,
with
he
that
was
Q
just,
ability.
he was just testing. He's like, can I Q over the wall here? The answer's no. He's just figuring it out, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, Q
second
is a
tower-
difficult ability.
Second tower of the game
Yeah.
for Honor Esports.
It's in objective bounty as well.
Delight. You just burn your W. I mean, I think you're fine, but I feel like it's always so scary being when you have no allies around. Your W is your escape tool. So
Yeah.
it's very scary doing that.
Certainly could have been dangerous, but it wasn't. And now sieging down on the bottom side here. We don't have a Talia anywhere near at the moment, and actually no more minions.
Tanking the tower.
He's just tanking the tower.
This is so stupid. And the thing is, he has Zonyas, so like it's so hard for them to engage him. He has Zonyas, he has Flash, he has
He's 224 armor.
Yeah.
And he had Mountain Soul in last game. That was even more ridiculous.
Look, nobody would ever discredit Chovy. He's been phenomenal this series. But please, God, we never see this tank Azir again. It is obnoxious.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
I think putting it into his hands is just, it's an abomination, honestly. It's just too much. And now he has Abyssal Mask, so he's got plenty of MR as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Talia has 49 MR.
Zeri has 47.
Yeah, Kai said 49 as
Oh,
well.
but also, when Chovy goes for his shuffle, he shreds their MR with the Abyssal Mask. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty strong, and it is a problem for Home Life Esports.
Ini guys, udah dulu guys. Thank you yang udah nonton. See you on the next stream. Bye bye. Gue lanjut ntar malam.